NBA playoffs have arrived as we kick it off with Game 1 in sports. Taking on the Indiana Pacers. Hi, everyone. I'm Ed Cohen with Jay Williams. Jay, we look at the Raptors coming into play. They have got to get home court advantage, and they'll need it in what's going to be a tight 5-game series.
And I'll tell you, these 5 games really make each game take on a greater importance than the 7-game series we're used to.
Here comes the screen. Austin Rivers. That'll get out off one of the Pacers. Oh, he got a piece of it.
Sent a message on that one, Ed.
Pacers control. Pascal Siakam sends it. Oh, that's out.
Out of here. It always looks cool, but guess what? You're still on D.
Oladipo to Rivers. Short jumper won't go down.
Misses happen. Don't put your head down. Let that motivate you in the defensive end. Use it for something positive.
Finishing inside the paint on that one.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
Austin Rivers. From the outside, no good. 4-3. Tough shot. He hits.
Look, that shot was going up regardless of what the defender was trying to do. That's called a heat check.
Pacers with the possession. Oladipo. Surveys the floor. And he's fouled. Couple of free throws coming up, Jay.
Guys like Gary Payton would always take ones early like this all the time. Number 1, to see if they'll get caught. And number 2, to leave a little mark on you to remind you that they'll be on you all game long.
First try, no good. Second one's good. Splits the pair. Gets it to go, and the foul.
The defender was actually in a good position there. They even made a decent play on the ball. But sometimes those bounces go the other way. Still, stay aggressive out there.
The free throw, perfect. And the lead is up to 7. It's Indiana basketball. Oladipo. To Turner. Takes stock of the floor. Rebound taken by Toronto. Lowry. Stuffs it down with authority. Jay, they've had no answer for this guy.
He's been on fire this first quarter. That's the way you take it right to your opponent. You attack right out of the gate.
To Oladipo. Screen coming. Nothing going here on that drive. 5 to shoot for Indiana. And finishes strong.
Just remember an old saying here. You're only as good as your last shot, and your last shot went in. So it's time to get going.
tough make through traffic.
They're going to have to find answers defensively and quickly because he's carving them up in the first quarter.
Oh, they don't get it across in time. That's an 8-second violation. They're going to make some changes with some new... Lowry. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
The offense has very little to lose on those type of plays if they know they can, number one, create contact, and number two, still get the ball up. You need to assert yourself fully on the defensive end by initiating the contact and not allowing the offensive player to get that ball above his waist.
The free throw is good. Finishing off the three-point play, the lead grows to 12. Indiana with the basketball. Oladipo. And the finish. Slam dunk. Jay, perhaps that's a start.
Those kind of plays get me fired up. That's a momentum play. They look lifeless here in the first quarter, but a dunk like that can get your team going in the right direction.
Oh, great pass. Setting up the basket.
As a player, there's nothing better than coming out in the first quarter and playing exactly the same way you played the last couple of days of practice. You're moving the ball, you're capitalizing on mistakes, and you really built a nice lead.
Oh, Jay, he commands the paint this time down.
You have to understand something. If you want to win this game, there should be one rule and one rule only. You never give up easy buckets, even if you have to give a hard foul. Make him earn it at the charity stripe.
Oladipo into the front court. Down a dozen. And a nice finish at the rim.
You normally don't see that, but that's the type of thing that keeps shooters in the league for a long time. Every once in a while, they venture into the paint.
The crossover gets inside and the slam dunk. They have set the tone in this one.
I love when I see offenses come out in beast mode. You attack that paint, you get to the rim, inevitably the floor will open up for you to knock down some threes.
And stuffs it home.
Just wait a second, Ed. Wait 1 second. Can we go back to the play before this great play that we just saw? Just because you have a bad offensive possession, you can't allow that to go down and reciprocate itself on the defensive end. One bad play does not make two bad plays. You have to bounce back. That's how you play this game.
Old school. Backs his man down for the basket.
You feel that? I see the confidence building.
Now the Raptors go. Changes coming from both sides right now. And scores.
It looks like he's using his ball handling to feel the game out. I know it looks like he's just playing around out there trying to get the fans going. That is true, but he's also finding his rhythm.
Trying to cash in. Shot by Warren misses.
Let's be realistic. He's probably not going to miss a lot of shots. But the more effort you can give, you want to try to tire him out. Take his legs away. Make him work to catch the ball. That's how you win a defensive battle.
Toronto has the basketball. Fires the three. That's how you defend.
Shooters shoot, period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
Stuffs it down with authority.
Whew, I don't think anyone saw this one coming, but it looks like they're trying to send a message. Look into their eyes. They're laser focused. They're playing as if this game is tied.
To Brogdon. Marc Gasol swats it.
Don't stare him down like that afterwards.
Nice pace, sets it up, and slams it down. Jay, this is getting scary fast.
If you're the defense, you have to deny him the ball. Maybe throw a box and one. Maybe throw a zone. Maybe even throw the kitchen sink because he's putting on a show in the first quarter.
Flushes it home.
Finally something goes their way. I don't think I need to tell you, but this has been a disaster of a first quarter. They just need somebody to get hot, and then they need to come together as a team and get a few stops.
Down to Warren. Marc Gasol with a piece.
That kid can block out the sun, Ed.
Nice pass to set things up. Just enough of a head fake to help on that one. Footer at the buzzer. Pulled in by Brogdon. We've reached the end of the first quarter here in game one. Jay and I are back after this. It's the NBA playoffs on EA Sports. Jay Williams with you as we get things started here in the second quarter. It's the Raptors with the basketball. It goes down.
It can only be one of two things here. One, the defender ran out of gas, or two, this dude is just unstoppable.
To Brogdon. Rivers matched up with Livingston. Not that time.
And this happens all the time in this league. Sometimes offensively, you're tired. It's one of those type of nights. You combine that with the fact that the defense is hungry and active and contesting everything, that's why shots aren't dropping.
Austin Rivers. Throws it down.
And when you get your prescription, you take your medicine and you call it a day.
Count it. No and one. There was some contact there.
Just a ball-handling wizard, still putting people under his spell.
From the painted area, won't go down. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at three coming up.
Oh, he should get some kind of acting award. That's a great sell by the offensive player. But guess what? The refs bit, and that's the game.
Free throw's good. It's a three-point play. This big first half continues. Rivers with the basketball. Looking to make something happen. Down to Warren. Missed it. Almost a foul. They let it go. Another follow. No good. Livingston across the timeline. His guys holding the big lead. Marc Gasol. He's finally on the board. Makes his first shot.
Well, they have such great flow to their offense this evening. The ball isn't sticking to one player individually. It's moving around the perimeter, and it's zipping. They're playing with a special cohesiveness.
Down to Warren. The pass set it all up. Now a whistle, and Toronto's going to use a timeout as they'll take a moment to go over things here in the second quarter. Coach has seen enough. He wants some change. Victor Oladipo. Tough shot. Well defended.
And look, sometimes you don't have it going every single night. Maybe utilize yourself as a decoy and get some teammates involved with your passing.
Pacers control. To Oladipo. Count the basket inside.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
Oladipo. Stuffs it down with authority.
I know there's that old saying that says one man can't beat five, but we're watching one man carry four other players. His back has to be hurting. Another big-time finish.
To Oladipo. Not that time. Going to launch beyond the arc. Man, that was a tough shot.
For average shooters, that's not a great shot. But for a great shooter, that's a good look.
Augustine with the basketball. Down a bundle. Here comes the screen. To Oladipo. The Pacers with 4 to shoot. Wide open look, won't go. Draws the double and still hits.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
Now a whistle, and Indiana is word in with his guys here in this third quarter. Oladipo. Shot from the lane won't go. Pascal Siakam tips it.
Oh, he blocked that with authority.
Send it away.
Did you see how far he got up? He kept going up and up and up. I think he's still going up.
Toronto with the basketball. A lot of contact on that play. He plays through it and scores.
It's almost like he had the defender on a string, and he's the puppet master.
Here comes the screen. That's out. Last touch by DJ Augustine. To Lowry. Well done, Kyle Lowry. Not a busy night, but effective. 2 for 2.
Well, the shooting has been spectacular, but one of the things that I've seen as the difference maker in this ball game is how they are catching the basketball. They're not establishing a pivot foot, which leaves the defense wondering which way you can drive, but when that shot is working like that, you got it any way you want.
Oh, with the foul, and a chance coming up at the line.
Ed and I want to go home too, but fouls like that only stop the clock for all of us.
And he can. Next on the first free throw. Able to convert on both free throws. In the front court, it's Augustine. His guys down big. Oladipo down to Warren. Big finish at the rim.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great.
Leaves his man in the dust and finishes at the rim.
Man, if we were at Rucker Park right now, everybody will be wilding on the court. Guarantee it.
To Oladipo. Has a chance. Add 2 points to the board.
Ooh, is there a medic in the house? You need to get those ankles retaped ASAP.
The crossover gets inside and the slam dunk.
Here's lesson number 1. When you allow a player like that the freedom of space to dance with the ball, there's no telling what kind of break dance move they might hit you with.
Victor Oladipo with the slam.
The NBA's most improved player was a guy that always invested in himself, both on and off the court, but he always put in the work to be better. Was a sponge for information, an insatiable appetite to be the best. But the difference is, he's believing in himself. Whether that's singing at the NBA award show or performing at the highest level on the court, it's safe to say that Victor Oladipo has officially arrived.
Slams it down.
We call that get your money and put it in the bank.
Oladipo into the front court. He'll run the offense. Has a look. Off the mark. He's made those before, but that was well defended.
It's easy. Force guys into low percentage shots. That's the reason why we're big into stats. It was all provided to you before the game in the scouting report.
Pacers with the possession. Oladipo. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
That was such a great job by the offensive player. Knowing that you're probably going to take some lumps here and there, but still remaining aggressive throughout the shot and getting a crack at the extra point.
And he misses that one free throw. To Oladipo. Whoa, what a finish.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
Nice pass to set things up. Rocking the rim. Good luck keeping up with that.
Did you see that jump? It was as quick as a pogo stick.
Double team. Here we go.
Runner here won't go down. Stuffs it down with authority.
Man, they are just continuing to pour it on. But the one thing we know about in this league, you have to make sure that you continue to play with energy because leads can evaporate quickly.
Marc Gasol snatching it out of the air. That's his third block this evening.
You know why? I don't see anybody on the defensive end standing up out of position. I see everybody squatted down, really active with their hands. That's the mentality that will lead you to where you want to go.
So the Pacers with the basketball to start the fourth quarter. And this has not been one of their better performances to this point. They've been out of sorts all afternoon.
And one of the most difficult challenges we have in this life is when we bring our personal life into our workspace. It looks like they were never in the game to begin with.
He shoots, off the mark.
And you have to remember that your hand is part of the ball. There wasn't enough contact on that play for the refs to blow the whistle.
And the defender over pursues, and he's called for it.
Those cat-like hands almost got a steal.
Brogdon. Shot by Warren, no good. The monster stuff.
And cutting hard in transition is one of the most underrated things about this game. The harder you can cut is the more it opens up the floor to make plays just like that.
To Turner. Had him going there for a second. Stuffs it down with authority. At this point, they're twisting in the wind.
Were you looking for a response from me? Because I don't really know what else there is to even say. I mean, is this even a game? I mean, we should just start packing up and getting ready to go right now.
To Brogdon, taken by the Raptors. And scores on the Euro step.
Just wait a second, Ed. Wait 1 second. Can we go back to the play before this great play that we just saw? Just because you have a bad offensive possession, you can't allow that to go down and reciprocate itself on the defensive end. One bad play does not make two bad plays. You have to bounce back. That's how you play this game.
Return label included.
The offense might want to adjust here. That's his fourth block of the evening.
Throws it down.
You know, it reminds me, Ed, of a story a legendary coach once told me. He said, if you ever get in a fight, you're not going to hit somebody with an open hand, correct? You'll probably break a finger. But if you hit somebody with a fist, what is that? That's 5 fingers working collectively together as one. That's how you deliver a knockout punch, and that's what we're seeing tonight.
Ref has the call. 5 seconds. His back was to the basket. Ball's going the other way. It's Indiana basketball. Short jumper misses. Nothing going here on that drive. Stuffs it down with authority.
It's easy to become mesmerized when you watch a player who can create off the dribble. We call that dancing. When you allow a player to dance with that much space, that's a problem city.
Brogdon. Down to 5 on the 24. Here's a chance from long range. Second effort. On the follow. Way to stay with it.
Look, there was barely any contact on that last play. I agree with the ref's no call. Let him play.
Count the basket at the rim.
Attack mode isn't a switch that you can just turn on and off. He needs to do more of that. We need to see him penetrate, get into that lane, and create.
And look out. He climbed the ladder on that one.
Well, the question is, how big is the ladder? He's still climbing.
Nice pace, sets it up, and slams it down.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. Oh, big finish at the rim.
The pass was really good, but what I love most about the play, Ed, was that every player that ran in transition had active hands, which means they were active targets. They provided a target for the player to deliver the pass. That's how you work together as teammates.
Cash is in. Someone has to get into a zip code.
You know what I like about this pass play? Instead of putting his head down and forcing the action, he patiently waited for the play to develop.
Oh, emphatic slam.
With handles like that, you get into the hoop at will.
That pass taken away by Toronto.
You go back to the principles, things that we started working on when we were in first and second grade. It's called the shell drill. You stay down in the stance defensively, you try to deny the next pass away, and you have to communicate. If your conditioning is bad, you have no chance. But if you're able to do all these things together, collectively, you will be able to...
Hey everyone, it's Jalen Rose, and it's time for the EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Raptors put on a show in a... And I'll tell you, it was the ball movement that made all the difference. And that's what happened here today. Here are the guys who put up the most points for the Toronto Raptors.
Player of the game.
And while you can't track leadership on a stat sheet, it was by far the most impressive thing he did in this game.